Hi everybody, Jake here. I hope everyone's doing well today. I wanted to get on here and do a little Cavs video for you guys, my thoughts and feelings so far in this young season that the Cavs are having right now, this excellent season that the Cavs are having right now. They're coming off a win against the Brooklyn Nets tonight, 130 to 101, I believe, is the final. So they advanced to 23-4 on the season through 27 games. So excellent season so far for the Cavs. Let's jump into this one. Just some team stats to throw at you guys. The Cavs are putting up 121 points a game. That's good for second in the NBA, only behind Memphis, holding opponents to 111 points a game. Most glaring stats are they lead the league in field goal percentage, three-point percentage, and offensive rating. The Cavs have been phenomenal this year. They've been pretty fortunate to have the easiest strength of schedule so far. They're 30th in strength of schedule, which I guess that'd be first in strength of schedule. So they've had the easiest schedule so far through 27 games. So things have been really, really good for the Cavs so far. Point I wanted to jump into here, some talking points I had is, in totality, the Cavs' overall improvement, I believe, mostly comes from the transition of head coaching duties from J.B. Bickerstaff over to Kenny Atkinson and the philosophy and the mindset difference between these two. J.B. Bickerstaff, we know what we got from him for the last couple of years. It was the half-court offense. It was the slow, grit and grind, defensive-oriented team that the Cavs have been, and it's worked pretty well. You've made the playoffs with it. You won a playoff series with it, but you see this Cavs' true potential through what Kenny Atkinson has brought to this Cavs team. It's the pace, the space, the running in transition, the drive, swing, kick. It's just created looks for guys, and the Cavs have shown it with how efficient they've been so far throughout this young season. One of the biggest benefactors of this coaching switch is definitely Evan Mobley, who's having his career year, his breakout year that us Cavs fans have been waiting for. We see the true potential of Evan Mobley this year, averaging 18 points, 9 rebounds, almost 3 assists, a block and a half a game, 56% from the field and 40% from three. That's going to be off lower volume. He's averaging about 2 threes a game he shoots, but that's up a whole three-pointer from last year, which is so important because the spacing to this team is so important. But those are just the numbers. Us Cavs fans know off the eye test, Evan Mobley's playing with an aggression that we haven't seen from him so far in his young career. It felt like in the past, Evan Mobley had this passive play style to him, and especially you noticed it whenever he would shoot the three ball, he would have this hesitancy to shoot the three that we don't see this year. So you can definitely tell with this coaching switch that it is a point of emphasis to make Evan Mobley a focal point of this offense and unlock that three-point shot. So great year for Evan Mobley so far. The next thing I wanted to talk about just briefly was the Cavs bench and how great that's been all year. The Cavs have one of the best benches in the NBA with the emergence of Ty Jerome, the consistency this year of Caris LeVert. We know what we've gotten in the past with Caris LeVert, but this year we've seen a much more consistent Caris LeVert, Sam Merrill, Dean Wade, the usual suspects off the bench. The Cavs bench has played a huge factor in their success so far this year. With that being said, we haven't even seen Max Strus yet this year. We'll see what happens whenever he comes back, if Max Strus moves back to the starting lineup, if Dean Wade is a consistent starter there, what you do, Isaac Okoro, maybe it's a matchup-based thing, but we'll see what happens. But Cavs bench has been excellent so far this season. Huge point I wanted to talk about was the minutes being so monitored by this coaching staff. This is also partly due to just the Cavs taking care of business. Like I said, they've had a pretty favorable schedule to this point, but they've also taken care of teams that are really good. The Denver Nuggets, the Golden State Warriors come to mind. Donovan Mitchell is at a career low, 32 minutes per game. Darius comes in at 30 minutes per game. Evan Mobley, 30 minutes a game. Jared Allen, similar. They've kept all these starters' minutes so low. In the NBA, it's such a war of attrition, it's such a marathon. That's going to be so important for this team in the long run, and health plays such a big part in the success of your team later in the season. So I think it's been excellent what this coaching staff has done, what Kenny Atkinson has done so far, with the keeping the minutes low on all their starters and all their players in general, even the bench. So let's hope they continue with that. Like I said, that also comes with just taking care of business. Maybe the Cavs get banged up later in the season. They don't have as easy of a schedule. I guess I can talk about that real quick. The rest of the season schedule, 56 games, 55 games now, but they have the 17th ranked strength of schedule in the NBA, so still lower half, but you get Boston twice, you get OKC twice, You got Memphis, Houston, Dallas all twice, and then you get the Knicks a couple times here. But they also have some favorable matchups. You get Washington one more time, and then you get Utah, Toronto, Charlotte, Philly, and Portland all twice. So you have some favorable matchups. The Cavs, the most important thing is just going to be taking care of the bad teams whenever you play the bad teams. Then your starters and bench will be ready to go whenever you play the good teams. So very optimistic at that end. Just to jump back real quick to the difference between JB Bickerstaff and Kenny Atkinson here is you expected to just see a little bit more of a defensive drop-off than you have from this Cavs team. With Kenny Atkinson running the show, with JB, we know what we got. We always had a consistently great defense. But this year, defensive rating, we're still sitting at 9th, and points allowed per game, we're still sitting at 11th. So you're still better half in both defensive categories. So really, you haven't seen that defensive drop-off that you would have expected to see with the JB Bickerstaff leaving. So that's another point to note. The Cavs defensively is still, have still stayed just as true as they were last year. So very, very good stuff there. Those are just some of my thoughts on the Cavs so far this season. Just looking into some stuff from them. They take care of business tonight. You beat Brooklyn 130-101, like I said, and then you get the Milwaukee Bucks here on Friday, and then just looking ahead here, you get Philly, Utah, and then you get a little bit of a gauntlet with the Nuggets, Warriors, Lakers, and then you play the Mavericks. So it'll be tough coming up for the Cavs, but excited to see this test for them. Excited to see what this season has in store for them. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching. Peace.